Welcome to Muddy River News This Week. I'm Bob Goff. My guest is a very busy man, Mark Philpot. He's the chair of the Human Rights Commission. He's also the Quincy Park Board president, and he's the guest. Welcome.
Good to see you.
You and I have something in common. I had your job once as the Park District president. How have you found it so far?
It's a good time. I love getting out and meeting with the people. Everyone that lives in Quincy, these are our neighbors, these are our friends, and we want to make sure that we have an excellent opportunity for them to take advantage of the great things that we're doing at the Park District. So I'm super excited.
The one thing that I knew going in, but once you're in that chair you don't have to be in that chair very long to realize the one thing is you are only one vote. You have to build consensus, and you can have ideas and you can have programs and you want to hey, we should do this, that, and the other. But unless you've got consensus from at least three, and it's better to have consensus from all six of your other members, but you've got to be able to build consensus, and you've got to be able to say, hey, let's do this together for the betterment of the community.
Absolutely. I feel very firmly about that. I'm definitely a person who believes in building bridges, not walls. So I think it's important to get together and share with the commissioners, because we as commissioners, we're basically just the cheerleaders of the district, right? Our whole purpose is to better the situation and better the connection between the district and the community. So but the staff is really the engine that keeps things going. They're fantastic. Rome does a great job in managing the day-to-day operations, and we're there to provide support for that.
Yeah, I mean, no board is supposed to micromanage, and they're really not supposed to dive in unless there's a serious problem. The Park District, again, they get their work done. They are very cautious and fiscally conservative, and that's not a bad thing. But I think when it comes time to do the right thing, push comes to shove, the right thing gets done.
Absolutely, and you brought up a very good point about being fiscally responsible. These are the taxpayers' dollars. It doesn't come out of it doesn't come out of my pocket directly, but it's important to be conservative in that respect, because we need to be concerned about how those dollars are spent and maximize them to their optimal level.
And I know the levy has been pretty consistent, flat if not reduced over the years and everything, but still the paying off the pensions, the things you're supposed to do, they've done a very good job of that. And again, when you talk about community needs, one of the things I remember when I was on the board is we really began we wanted to get all those fields covered with turf so we could bring in the kids, and not only for all the kids in the Park District programs themselves, but also for the kids who we could bring in from other communities. And that's when it becomes a real team effort with the Convention Visitors Bureau and the city to say, hey, let's fill our hotel rooms, let's fill our restaurants, let's get people here to come here and play ball.
And we've been very fortunate that we've been able to create programs that are supporting exactly that mission. Definitely putting heads in beds, so to speak, to bring people to town and to see the wonderful things that we have here in Quincy.
And it's good that you realize that, because you don't want to be a silo and say, well, what do we care about tourism? We do care about tourism because we care about our community. We want people to come in and be a part of it. And while I never thought that, also building the trails, and that's been one of the signature things the Park District has done, I never necessarily thought that was a tourism thing per se, but still it's a community betterment thing. And I know I have know many people who go out and hit those trails on a regular basis.
Absolutely, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because the Park District really is an integral part of that whole economic engine that drives our community. We are about bringing people to town, and hopefully those people that come and visit, maybe they might end up being residents at some point. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, we want our community, we want our community to be the best it can. A lot of people, I know we have people who argue, especially on social media, about certain things, but I think that once we all get all our oars going in the same motion, we can do great things. And again, I think it's a point of not getting all tribal, not splitting up. Let's this is something we need to do. Let's do it. And there are just some people who just want to say no just to say no. But there are also some people who are like, well, you can bring me on board if you just convince me why this is a good thing.
Absolutely, and I think that's really interesting, because the Park District is, of course, a nonpartisan board. So we don't get mired down in those type of politics, things like that. We are a collective group of individuals who want to just see the city thrive and do well, and we use the Park District as a mechanism for that.
Of course, along with you being president, you were also the first black person to be named as president of the Park Board, to get that elected by your peers, I should say. What did that mean to you?
So, as you know, I'm a transplant to Quincy. I'm not a native. So to have that honor of being the first African American to be elected to that office, it does have a great deal of symbolism. I've also been fortunate enough that I've been able to connect with people who have lived in Quincy prior to my arrival, and been able to learn about the history of Ben Bumbry and his significant contribution to the district. And I just feel like it's upon his shoulders I've been able to achieve that goal. But being the first African American to hold this seat, is it important? Sure. But I think what's more important is that we come together as a community and create a collective where we are working to improve the situation of all of our neighbors. And that's really where I'm at.
And I was really proud to be a part of the board that put Ben's name on Riverview Park too. I thought that was very important that we do that. So, and again, I think the work that you're doing, the Park District does work that it's you make of any board that you sit on. It is what you make of it, and I think if you put in the time, you are going to get that reward. Not financially. I'm talking about a reward to say, we're doing something right.
Absolutely, and it is an investment of time. I mean, you of course know that I have full-time employment with a major health provider here in town. So but it's also important to dedicate that time to be able to be available for your constituents. And I've been very fortunate that I've had a lot of support from my leadership at my main employment to be able to provide that support for the community.
You say you're a transplant. How long have you been in Quincy, and where are you from?
So I've officially been in Quincy for just about 5 years now. I previously lived in a small town in Iowa called Wellman. So Wellman, Iowa is situated between Iowa City and Washington. And that's a community of about 1,400 people. I was an elected official there as well. I was a city alderman. And we were very fortunate when I lived in Wellman that we were able to bring Ragbri to our small town. That's a huge bike. It's not necessarily a race. It's a marathon, basically.
It's kind of a race across Iowa.
No doubt. It goes for an entire week, and we were fortunate to be able to bring that to town. And that was a huge economic driver for us. When you take a town of 1,400 people and you pour in 30,000 people just on one day, I mean, it can make a huge impact.
Well, I've lived in Quincy since 1991, and I think some people still think I'm a transplant.
That's
okay.
That's a thing. It's okay.
Yeah, I get you. So, again, let's talk a little bit about the other part-time job that you have. Along with that, you're also the chairman of the Human Rights Commission.
That's correct.
Here in the city. What impact do you believe that commission makes on this city?
So I think it has a opportunity to make a huge impact. We like to be a vehicle where people can have a discussion and a little bit of back and forth with the policymakers that serve our community. City Council is a great venue, but it's kind of stuffy. And we provide an opportunity for there to be a lot more interaction between the community members and the commissioners. We try and bring up topics that are factual, but also that are impactful to the rest of the community. And we offer our community members an opportunity to kind of connect with those folks and see them in a light that they normally wouldn't be able to connect with them. So.
And the commission meets monthly?
Absolutely. We meet on the first Thursday of every month, and we meet at City Hall and Council Chambers. We're actually meeting, today is June 6th, so we're meeting today actually, and Senator Jill Tracy is going to be one of our guests, along with Jerry Gilley from Quincy Housing Authority.
Yes, we cover a lot of the meetings, but we can't get to every meeting. But we know you guys are doing great work. And you mentioned Jerry Gilley. I know they had the discussion last week about the housing authorities, like we were trying to figure some stuff out, and housing's a hot topic in this community.
Absolutely.
Not only, and again, it's housing from every level, from rentals to small single-person homes, single-family homes, all the way up to family homes. On the Human Rights Commission, that discussion, how do you try to integrate that into getting some voice, into getting some input on the City Council and say, hey, we think this is an important topic too?
So we're very fortunate that we have as one of our commissioners an alderman. That's kind of part of the makeup of the commission. We have a representative from the Quincy Police Department and also our alderman representative, and we use that as an opportunity to kind of funnel those concerns that are addressed on the commission back to City Council. So, and we also have a good working relationship with the mayor's office. We keep him abreast of things that are going on. because he doesn't always have the opportunity to come to our meetings as well. And we share with him pertinent information, and hopefully it gets acted upon when it gets to council.
So what is the most pressing issue you believe the Human Rights Commission can have an impact on in this community right now?
You don't have that much time.
You got a few more minutes. You can give me one. You can give me the Cliff Notes version.
So definitely, housing is a very hot topic right now. Also, education is a very serious issue. Dennis Williams is our chair for our education committee,
Sure.
And he of course has had an impact in the Quincy community for a long time. He also he was formerly a chair of the Human Rights Commission, probably our longest serving member, and he's also been instrumental in maintaining a connection with the Quincy Public School District and the other schools here in town to try and find out and learn more about what are the educational concerns that are affecting our community, specifically our underrepresented communities. And he tries to create a forum where those individuals can share that information with the commission, so we can reach out to our other community partners to make it effective.
And yeah, it's not, when you talk about education, it's the entire community right now that you see the test scores and you see the numbers, and they certainly could be a lot better. And you see that 80-some% of our kids are on free lunch or what have you. Mm-hmm. Those are the kinds of issues that I wish that people would spend more time on. And I know streets are important, and I know the water is important, obviously, but still, some of these other numbers and some of these other things we look at, it's like somebody really needs to kind of look at that and say, look, what's going on here? Where's the disconnect?
And that's where we're trying to address those issues at Human Rights Commission. We want to try and provide a vehicle for people to come and say, listen, I may or may not have an opportunity to talk with my alderman, but this is a place where I know that I can speak freely and share my opinions and be able to get some recourse, to be able to be heard. And that's really the vehicle that we try and provide.
Let's bounce back a final topic on, but I wanted to put your Park District hat back on here for a minute. When I was on the board, we really kind of got the ball rolling and beginning to look at and dip our toe, no pun intended, into the riverfront issue.
Sure.
What is the board's overall appetite on that issue? What direction do you think from your you can't make it happen, but you do have a voice as the president. Where is your stance on how we should proceed with riverfront development?
Well, the Park District, just like any other partner here in town, is definitely very supportive of our riverfront. The riverfront is probably our greatest asset here in Quincy, and it's definitely
also your property.
Absolutely, and it's also, but we do recognize that it's being underutilized. We're trying to make some inroads in that. The Gem City series they're doing concerts in Lincoln Park now. It's fantastic. It's going very well. I had an opportunity to speak with one of the gentlemen that's on that committee. They have great numbers from their last concert, and hopefully that will improve. But to get back to riverfront development, we are definitely supportive of increasing the opportunities to make inroads on that subject. Our challenge is being able to do so and still be fiscally responsible. Those dollars that are spent in the district, they don't come easy. They come off the backs of hardworking taxpayers, and that's from 5th Street to 48th Street, right? So everyone that is involved in that effort, we want to provide an opportunity for them to say, hey, listen, we want you to have some say in how this proceeds. And we've been very ardent about how we reconnect with our constituents to make sure that we are able to get that input that we need.
Yeah, because short of a referendum that would be specifically to dedicate itself toward riverfront development, if you do more to the riverfront, it is going to take from other programs.
Absolutely.
Again, the pie is only so big.
Absolutely.
Unless you go to the taxpayer and get more money out of them, and good luck doing that these days.
No.
All right, well, Mark Philpot, I appreciate your time, and continue your good work, sir.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right, that's all the time we have for now. I'm Bob Goff. Have a great week.